Hello friends, and welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for being here once again. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Mel and this is my YouTube channel where I'm documenting my health journey with a specific focus on weight loss in the hopes that it will help other people out there on similar journeys. Now, just before we kick off today's video, I just want to take a moment to say a huge thank you to everyone that watched my last video. I'm genuinely in disbelief at how many views it got, not to mention all the lovely comments and just supportive community vibes that came out of it. I'm blown away. I don't know what to say. I'm very humbled by everyone who took the time to watch it, and I sincerely hope that it was helpful in some way. And thank you so much to every single person who subscribed. I've had a massive growth in subscribers on my channel since that last video, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. I really do, so thank you. And of course, thank you to everyone who was already subscribed to my wee little channel. I'm also a bit nervous to do this next video because I'm talking to a lot more people now, but I'm just going to ignore that and push on. Okay, let's kick off. Let's get into it. So in my last video, I mentioned that 2023 for me was a great first half of the year in terms of weight loss and a very strong plateau in the second half of the year. I recently figured out that was due to a lack of routine and schedule and trying to do things on an ad hoc basis. So my last video was about realizing the importance of routine for me in getting back on track. And the last 2 or so weeks since I had that realization and made the video have been so much better. And even though the scales aren't reflecting any weight loss yet, I can tell just in my face and around this area and just from bloating and how my clothes are fitting that changes are starting to come back. I just feel, generally speaking, so much better having my routine back, and I'm feeling pretty confident that I am back on track again. And all this reflecting and realizations and knowing what I need to kind of stay on track has made me think, if I could lose 10 kilos in a relatively short period of time with my training wheels on, imagine what I could do in 2024 with everything that I've learned. And yes, that refers to weight loss, but what about other areas of my life, like fitness and personal growth and mental health? So as I was thinking about all this and thinking about the potential and what I could achieve, I got really excited, kind of like I am now, and I decided to do some goal setting for 2024. Now, I love a December goal set as much as the next person, but I don't think you need to wait for a new year or a new month or even a new week in order to set goals and try and get to your next level. But in this case, the timing has worked out perfectly to do some 2024 New Year goal setting. And I have to admit, there is something extra exciting and enticing about that. So whether you set goals in February or March or November, it's never a bad time to set goals and try and improve yourself. But if you've not done any goal setting in a while and you're watching this video, take it as a sign to set some 2024 goals with me. Now, I have a habit of going way too hard and either setting like 15 goals and never achieving any of them, or making them way too ambitious, or setting goals that have no action plan associated with them. So I've dedicated a bit more time to this goal setting exercise this time around, and I've thought about it a little bit more deeply. And I don't want to focus on too many areas. I want meaningful change in my high priority areas. And for this video, I'm not going to go into the how I plan to achieve those goals, because that'll be too much detail and the video is going to be too long and you'll be bored to death. So just know for each of these goals, I've got a plan in place on how to actually achieve it. Of course, if you do want more detail on the how, let me know in the comments and I'm happy to respond and let you know. So without further ado, my 2024 goals. Goal number 1 is weight loss. Who would have thought? So if you saw my last video, you'll know that when I started this weight loss journey, my overall goal was to lose about 35 to 40 kilos. I've since lost 15, so I've got about 20 to 25 kilos to go, or 55 pounds. Through years of repeated failure and trial and error, I finally know what works for me, and I have a toolbox of sustainable weight loss techniques. I have my reset methods. I realized the importance of routine for me, and I also have a really strong connection to my why. And I've done a separate video on all of those topics, which I'll link in the description below. So I'm confident that I can lose 20 kilos in 2024, and that is goal number 1. Goal number 2 is fitness. So fitness has often taken a bit of a back seat in my weight loss journeys because I have a habit of only looking at it in terms of how it can help me lose weight. And I still plan to use exercise as a way to lose weight, but I also want to work on fitness for the sake of fitness itself. I want to see what my body is truly capable of after years of inactivity, or even when I was exercising, just walking. So for the first time in a while, I have some specific fitness goals for 2024. And these are not to start off 2024. These are things that I want to work on consistently over the 12 months so that by the end of 2024, I can ideally run for 1 kilometer without stopping. And I know that does not sound far at all. And for some people, a kilometer run is literally just the warm up for their actual workout. But for me, it seems like a bit of a pipe dream. And if I can run a kilometer without stopping, I will be stoked. The second part of my fitness goal is to have a regular yoga practice. And by regular, I mean at least 2 times a week. Ideally, I'd love to do more, but 2 times is probably realistic. If I end up doing more, that's great, but minimum 2. And the third part of the fitness goal is strength training, which I'd like to be doing a minimum of 3 times a week. Again, if I can do more, amazing, but I don't want to overcommit considering I do 0 yoga and 0 strength work at the moment. Goal number 3 is personal growth. I've got 2 personal growth goals for 2024. Firstly, I want to improve my mental well-being. I want to have less anxiety and I want to feel more resilient. And I get it. From your perspective watching this video, this sounds so vague, but just know I do have a plan in place. Secondly, and this one's a little bit more involved, but something I feel like a lot of you can probably relate to is that I've struggled with feeling a bit lost and unable to relate to myself. I feel like over the years I've lost the connection with myself and I don't actually know myself that well anymore. And I would like to change that. I want to spend 2024 moving towards a stronger, truer sense of self. I want to understand and respect my boundaries. I want my confidence back and I want to know my own power again. I want to reach my next level. So to summarize and be clear, my personal growth goals for 2024 are to improve my mental well-being, get to know myself better again, and use that knowledge and that connection to start moving towards the version of me I know I can be. And these are not just wish list items that I just hope will happen over 2024. They're gonna take a lot of work, but I'm ready for that. It's time. And my final goal for 2024 is in the category of self-care. And this one may seem a little less epic than the other ones, but it's still really important because it's one of those things that you may not notice every day, but after 365 days of prioritizing yourself, putting effort into yourself and caring for yourself, you start sending a really strong message to yourself that you are loved and that you are worth it. So for me, self-care is going to look like 2 things next year. Firstly, I would like to incorporate more downtime and more slow time. I want to stop trying to always be so productive and always feel like I'm constantly rushed. As I get older, I'm really noticing how fast time goes and life is literally just zooming by. And if I look back at a typical day, I can remember the sense of urgency and the need to rush, but I couldn't tell you why. Was it really necessary to have every minute planned and walk really fast to the next destination and try and get everything done as quickly as possible and just get to the next step of the day faster? I have a feeling it's not. So the goal here is to slow down and live more purposefully and intentionally. The second self-care goal is, and this might sound a bit random and specific, but it is skincare. I want to take better care of my skin. I want to have my morning and evening skincare routine plus a regular face mask, and I also want to take care of my whole body skin with some dry brushing and moisturizing. And for me, skincare is really symbolic of my weight loss journey because I so often felt that I didn't deserve to look after my skin, or what was the point? Because I didn't like the body that my skin was wrapped around. So this is an important goal for me because it's going to reinforce the message and the concept of loving and caring and respecting my body. And it could potentially also be really good for mitigating any risk of loose skin, because when people do lose a significant amount of weight, they can have loose or excess skin, which is not the end of the world. It's fine, but I would rather avoid that if I can. So there we have it, my 4 goal categories for 2024. And they're ambitious, and I'm a little bit scared, but it's that good kind of scared. The kind of scared where you know you're stepping out of your comfort zone to become a better version of you. This is not going to be easy, but that's a good thing. If you've been thinking about setting some goals to improve your health or improve your life, there has never been a better time. So good luck. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in 2 weeks. I always forget my hot tip. I do it every video, yet I always forget. Anyway, the hot tip for this video is a YouTube video by one of my favorite YouTubers, Natasha Ocean. I can't pronounce her last name properly. Sorry, Natasha. But she's brilliant. I absolutely adore her. I love her channel. I've watched so many of her videos, but there is one in particular that I'm recommending as my hot tip for this week or this fortnight. And it's a video about her ultra marathon training. And no surprises here, I'm not exactly in the market for some advice on ultra marathon training, but it's the sentiment behind it. And I'm not gonna say any more other than it's very inspiring, it's very motivating, and it makes you want to pull up your socks and get on with it, even when it's hard, even when you want to give up. If you're at a point in your weight loss or health journey where you're over it, you want to give up, you're frustrated, you feel like you're going around in circles, give this video a watch because it may change your mindset. Okay, now I'm actually done. So I'll see you all in 2 weeks.